Hello, hello, and welcome, Travel Week readers. Thank you so much for joining us today. I see you all filing in. We've got a fabulous webinar planned for our show today. We have Peter Uzanov, who is the Director of Sales for Riverside Luxury Cruises in Canada, here with us, here to deliver a fabulous presentation where we can learn more about what's been up with Riverside Luxury Cruises lately. I can't wait to learn more with all of you about this amazing brand. Just so you know, we have a prize also attached to today's webinar. Actually, I should say prizes, which is even more amazing. 10 $50 Amazon gift cards. Wow, amazing. All you have to do to be eligible to win one of those gift cards is stay through right to the very end of today's webinar. And once you stay through to the end, you will automatically be entered into our draw to win one of those 10 gift cards. Be sure to look out for an email that will come through after today's webinar is over, announcing the names of those prize winners as well. Also, if you have questions at all during today's webinar, please feel free to put those into the Q&A box you see at the bottom of your screen, not into the chat. I know sometimes we get questions coming into the chat too, and I definitely like to monitor those as well. But because this is a big webinar today and we don't want to miss any questions, be sure to put your questions in the Q&A box. I will be back on at the end of today's webinar, and I will be more than happy to ask any questions that you have to Peter on your behalf so you can get those answered live here. And that is all our housekeeping for today. As you know, here at Travel Week, we are dedicated to providing the very best information so you can book amazing holidays and travel product for your clients. And so knowing that, and without further ado, I am very excited to pass the floor over to Peter, and I'll see you again at the end of the show. Thanks so much for being here, Peter, and take it away.
Thank you so much. And hello, everyone. My name is Peter Uzanov. I'm the Director of Sales for Riverside Luxury Cruises in Canada. Thank you all so much for tuning in to today's webinar that's all about Riverside Luxury Cruises, a year on from our inception on the Danube in April of 2023. I know some of you will be learning about us for the very first time, while others are already familiar and have been promoting and selling us to your luxury clients. Wherever you are in our journey, thank you for your interest and for taking the time to attend this webinar and to learn more. And thank you to Travel Week as well for hosting us on their platform and for their general support of our brand as we continue to grow our presence in the Canadian market. Here's what's on the agenda for today. First, a quick introduction on how we came to be. Then I'm going to take you on board our ships, review some of our itineraries, current promotions and incentives, and share some ideas on how you can start to promote and sell Riverside Luxury Cruises to your clients. So let's get right into it then. So Riverside Luxury Cruises was established at the end of 2022 by the European-based family-owned luxury hotel group called Seaside Collection, which includes 12 boutique properties located in the beautiful Canary Islands, which is actually where the company was founded back in the 70s. And then from there, they expanded into parts of Spain, Germany, and the Maldives. Each hotel is characterized by its exclusive location, by its authentic architecture and stunning design, by its unforgettable cuisine, and very intuitive and empathetic approach to hospitality. So even though as a brand, Riverside Luxury Cruises is new, the owning company has been in the luxury hotel business for more than 50 years, with many of their properties belonging to the ultra-exclusive leading hotels of the world, the prestigious Design Hotels Group, and the esteemed Autograph Collection. Back in 2018, the Seaside Collection family was introduced to the idea of adding a luxury river cruise product to their hotel portfolio by a private equity investor whose research at the time showed that the river cruise market was missing a true luxury option and one that would prioritize more onboard space and amenities, larger suites for fewer guests, higher staff-to-guest ratios for a highly personalized service, and larger kitchens that could deliver an exceptional restaurant-like experience on the rivers. Unfortunately, they weren't able to bring their plans to fruition at that time because, well, they couldn't find the shipyard with availability to build the ships according to their own specifications, so the project was put on hold. Fast forward to January 2022, you all remember that Crystal Cruises, the original Crystal Cruises, ceased operations, which opened the door for Seaside Collection to revive their river cruise plans by purchasing all of their former river ships. Only 6 months after Seaside Collection acquired those ships, the first one and the crown jewel of the fleet set sail on the Danube, now reborn as the Riverside Mozart. So yes, we've been sailing on the Danube since April 2023 with the Riverside Mozart. The ship is twice as big. It's 75 feet wide instead of the standard 36 feet, yet she only accommodates 160 guests. That's as many guests as other river cruise brands. However, it's double their ship size. Over the summer last year, we also started our river cruise program on the Rhone River in the south of France. And several months ago, we celebrated the christening of our third ship, the Riverside Debussy. Both these ships are identical to each other. They're half the size of the Mozart and can accommodate a maximum of 110 guests. That's up to 80 guests fewer than other river ships. Think about that. 80 guests fewer, yet it's the same size ship. Remarkable. Our ships feature some of the largest suites you'll find on the European rivers, from 194 square feet to over 880 square feet. They all have king-size beds, which is very uncommon for a river cruise ship to have, many of which face the beautiful scenery through floor-to-ceiling, wall-to-wall French balconies. They also all have fully stocked minibars, including a welcome bottle of Taittinger champagne, our house champagne, ensuite espresso and tea station, plush bathrobes, slippers, and luxurious Natura Bissé bath products from Barcelona. And every guest on every suite in every category on all three ships has personal butler service. And that is our approach to luxury. We know that every person, every guest has a different definition of what luxury means to them. We know that every guest is going to come on board our ships with different expectations. And the only way that we can truly meet those expectations is if we approach every guest individually and personally, rather than as a collective, as a group on board the ship. And we do that primarily through our personal concierge and butler service. Beyond the suites, and because our ships accommodate fewer guests, they have up to 7 lounges, which is really, really unheard of for a river cruise ship, including what resembles a very trendy hotel rooftop lounge on the Vista deck, featuring a lot of comfortable and stylish outdoor furniture. There's a beautiful blooming herb garden, which is used for our botanist cocktails. And there's an actual pop-up bar that lowers into the ship in order to fit underneath Europe's bridges. As you're sitting here enjoying the beautiful views with a glass of champagne or one of those botanist cocktails, the atmosphere is fantastic. Just as I said, you have the feeling of being on top of a very trendy rooftop lounge, and it's a great feeling. But back inside, the ships have indoor swimming pools, fitness centers, there's a spa, The Riverside Mozart, being twice as big, also has 2 saunas, 2 steam rooms, and a very therapeutic relaxation lounge. From a culinary perspective, the ships have multiple restaurants and opportunities to dine anytime. Waterside is our main restaurant, offering gourmet cuisine through revolving menus. Here is where your clients will enjoy breakfast, lunch, and dinner prepared on demand and always à la minute, just as you would when you're going to a restaurant. We go as far as to make fresh pasta and bread on board twice daily. We source the highest quality and the freshest ingredients for the most memorable dining experiences on the rivers. In fact, we budget the most on our dining programs and more than any other river brand on the rivers. The Bistro is our casual eatery offering all-day food options, something that most river cruise lines actually don't have. The ability to to have food throughout the day for the guests, not just scheduled meal times. And in the evenings, the Bistro turns into a casual tapas-style restaurant. Blue is a grill that's available only aboard the Riverside Mozart. And here guests can enjoy a menu of delicious grilled selections for lunch and a change in their scenery. On each ship, we also have a private dining room where we host the vintage room experience for up to 12 guests. Here, our executive chef and sommelier will lead diners through 7 delectable courses, each paired with an exceptional fine wine from the region and one that perfectly complements each course. When the weather allows, we'll invite guests to come up to our Vista Grill on the Vista deck, where we offer a variety of the highest quality surf and turf with incomparable views of some of Europe's most enchanting cities and towns right across from the railings. In addition to all the different dining venues, we also offer complimentary room service in case guests want to keep their pajamas on and just enjoy a late breakfast, or if they wanted to, a private and romantic meal for lunch or for dinner, we can set that up directly in their suite as well. Within our short time on the rivers, both Forbes and Cruise Critic have endorsed us as the river cruise line for foodies. And we really are setting out to redefine the concept of luxury and to establish fresh benchmarks for bespoke European river cruising. When your clients travel with us, they'll experience personalized 24-hour service and a 1-to-1 crew to suite ratio. We can do this because we accommodate fewer guests in fewer suites, in much larger suites, and we have more staff on board, including personal concierge for every guest. From a culinary perspective, we offer the best cuisine and are placing an emphasis on the freshness and the quality of the ingredients on board. We have bigger galleys, more chefs, and we cook every dish on demand 24 hours a day. We also have the best wine cellar on the water, which I would say rivals those of some of the best restaurants on land. Our crew of trained sommeliers and bartenders have access to special regional and global wines, as well as some of the best spirits available. And as far as design goes, our ships are luxurious, they're glamorous, they're stylish, they're opulent and comfortable, they're very spacious, they have the most onboard amenities. They are truly in a league of their own. As for where we sail, you can book us on the three main cruising rivers of Europe, which are the Danube, the Rhine, and the Rhone, on which we offer a variety of cruises. We have over 170 combined departures on 52 distinct itineraries, ranging from 3 nights to 23 nights. And on all voyages, we're staying late or even overnight in some of Europe's most captivating towns and cities, allowing guests to immerse themselves in the destination's nightlife. The Mozart, because of its size, is limited to the Danube, and this year is only sailing between Passau and Budapest, whereas next year the Mozart will sail all the way to Belgrade and the Iron Gates, but again, not beyond Passau. We have a variety of cruises, as I mentioned, as short as 3 nights, and then the more typical 7, 10, and 10-night cruises as well. On the Rhine, the Riverside Debussy sails between Amsterdam and Basel. Actually, the Riverside Debussy will sail everywhere else that the Mozart isn't able to fit through. The most popular of those rivers, though, and that stretch would be the Amsterdam to Basel route along the Rhine. And just to give you some examples of the the excursions I'll talk about a little later, but the Debussy also sails the very popular Amsterdam to Budapest route, the 14-night cruise, which can be booked as a full 14 nights or in components of 6 nights. We have unique itineraries, unique combinations between the Rhine, the Moselle, and the Main, or on the other end, the Danube with the Main. And of course, the south of France between Lyon and Avignon. With all of these different rivers and itineraries, there are short variations, 3, 4-night cruises, along with those more standard 7, 10, 14 nights. And we do have the Christmas market cruises available still for this year as well. So those start up at the end of November and go into over to Christmas Eve. We have a very special sailing, which includes Christmas as well as the festivities over New Year's. In terms of the excursions, we include excursions at every port that we're visiting, and we include a lot of choices and a lot of great variety of excursions, not just the more standard guided walking tours that visit the iconic landmarks, but there's a lot of different choices. We keep the group sizes very small, maximum 15 guests per guide. There's bikes on board the ship's combination of both e-bikes and manual bikes, and all of our itineraries of 7 nights and longer will include a signature event. And this could be, for example, on the Danube, a private concert in the Schönbrunn Palace, which I know other river cruise lines offer concerts in Vienna at beautiful concert halls, but we're taking it up a level and we're going to the Schönbrunn Palace, and it's just our group of guests. There's no other river cruise companies. There's no other tours. It's just our guests, taking in that beautiful performance in the most incredible setting. But just to give you some ideas of other excursions, because as I say, it's not just about the guided walking tours, but on the Rhine itinerary in Cologne, of course, we have those walking tours that will take in the historic landmarks for people that are going there for the first time and that want that historic context. But we also have a tour of the famous chocolate museum in Cologne. There's a the local Kolsch beer tasting excursion. We have a very unique tour where we're taking our guests to these iconic landmarks such as the beautiful cathedral, but the guests are wearing virtual 3D glasses in order to see what the city in the perspective of when it was back in the in the 1920s. So it's a completely different type of experience. On the Rhine, we have chauffeured Land Rover tours through the Rhine country and the vineyards, visiting some quaint little towns, which end off in a beautiful castle with a wine tasting. Guests can trade in the Land Rover for 2 wheels and instead go on a bike tour through some of the vineyards, followed by a wine tasting in that castle, or they can have the option to take a cable car ride up to the Niederwald monument, which commemorates the unification of Germany, and that's followed by a traditional Rudesheimer cafe experience. So a lot of choices. In fact, sticking with the Rhine as an example, on a 7-night Rhine River cruise, we have up to 36 included excursions, which is incredible. Incredible variety. And then this is an example of one of the excursions on the Rhone that's offered on the Rhone, although this river that you're seeing here is the River Gardon, which we have our guests go on kayaks, and they go on a beautiful excursion, a 5-mile kayaking excursion all the way to the Pont de Gard, where they have the most incredible vantage point of this incredible medieval aqueduct, the largest in the world that's still standing. So it's an incredible excursion there, and something that's very different as well. So only on Riverside can your clients experience unparalleled luxury aboard our all-suite fleet that boasts the largest average suite size on Europe's rivers and king-size beds in every suite. Only on Riverside can your clients indulge in the personal touch of butler service and 24-hour room service, complemented by top shelf open bar, a welcome bottle of champagne, and a fully stocked minibar. Only on Riverside can your clients delight in exceptional gourmet cuisine prepared à la minute with open seating dining, specialty dining in the vintage room, and a pop-up bar and grill on the Vista deck. Only on Riverside can your clients enjoy the flexibility of shorter cruise itineraries with all port charges, transfers, and gratuities included for a seamless and opulent river cruise experience. Only on Riverside do your clients have a choice of the experience that they pay for through our unique 4-tier price structure. First, we are above all else all-inclusive. So I mentioned the port charges, the gratuities, transfers, always included, regardless of the price package that your clients are booking. And that's great for you because we have no NCFs. Your commission is based on the package that you book your clients into. The first of those is our premium all-inclusive with excursions, all meals included, open bar, 24 hours, a welcome bottle of French Taittinger champagne, stocked mini bar, premium wines and beer throughout the day. And of course, the excursions. And as I mentioned, on the Rhine, that could be up to 36 included excursions that they can choose from. However, if you have clients that don't drink or don't want to pay for the beverage package and would rather pay as they consume, pay a la carte, then you can take out those beverage, the beverage component. They'll still have all the meals. They'll still have all the excursions. They'll just pay for the drinks as they're ordered. The alternative to that is for clients that want to keep the beverage component, but are a little bit more independent when they travel, or they just want to hang out at some of the local cafes. They don't want to have all of the excursions. Maybe they want some custom excursions for them. Well, then you can book us excluding the excursion component. And the final fourth option is the full board, which includes all of the meals with all of the beverages and excursions available a la carte. In terms of our groups program, we offer a TC for the 10th guest, so 9 full fare guests. The 10th is the 10th is the TC. For groups, we offer a private group excursion as well as a 1-hour welcome reception. And you can book us on an FIT basis. When you get up to 10 clients, we can turn that into a group. Or if you wanted to block live space, you do have that option as well with a $100 per suite deposit. And although it is non-refundable, it is transferable. So if the group doesn't work out, we can always try on another sailing later on. Our ships, especially the smaller ships, the Riverside Raval and the Riverside Debussy, with only 110 guests on them, are very conducive to charter opportunities. So if that's something that you're interested in, you can get in touch with me, and I would love to work with you on those. We've got great travel advisor rates. Oh, but before I tell you about those, let me tell you about the promotions that we have going on. So for 2025, 15% early booking discount goes up until the end of February, which is combined with our 10% introductory discount, as well as a 10% discount on cruises 7 nights and longer. We do waive the single supplement on our lead-in suites. And for guests staying in some of the larger suites, which can accommodate 3 guests, there is additional savings for that third guest. Canadian currency is available, but it is only available on the Travel Advisor portal. So if you go on our consumer website, you'll see that its pricing is in USD and in euros. If your agencies are not registered to our Travel Advisor portal, that'll give you access to quote and book in Canadian. And as you can see, deposits 10% per person, and hours are 100% refundable up until 90 days prior to departure. On top of that, we are very proud to offer an outstanding commission, 21% commission, which is made up of our 18% base plus a 3% bonus. We have these beautiful brochures that I would love to get in the hands of your clients. And here I'd like to offer some ideas on who and how to start promoting and selling our cruises. Okay, so I would love if all of you online right now following this webinar has a look in their database and identifies 1 or 2 clients that have previously cruised with Regent, with Silversea, with Seabourn. That is very much our base and the client that will love the experience on our ships. To give you some ideas though, if you are approaching clients that are new to river cruising, then I would suggest the Riverside Debussy on the Rhine. The Rhine is the #1 river cruise itinerary for first-timers, and their clients will be amazed with all of the castles that they'll be seeing, the beautiful cities and quaint towns along the way as well. If you have clients that like to ocean cruise with those lines that I mentioned and have not yet considered a river cruise because of their perception that there are not enough dining options or amenities that they're used to from the ocean, then I would recommend for them the Riverside Mozart on the Danube. The Mozart is the perfect transition ship to get those luxury ocean cruisers from over to the rivers. For people that don't cruise, that haven't river cruise, that haven't ocean cruise, they like to travel by land, they like to stay at beautiful hotels, then I would recommend our short itineraries, the 3, 4, 5 night cruises, which are obviously going to be part of a broader travel itinerary. But what an amazing experience that could be, staying at one of our beautiful floating hotels, with the added benefit that that hotel is going to visit some interesting places and different places along the way. For anyone that's done a river cruise in the past, they've done the Rhine, they've done the Danube, they've done both of those, then the Riverside Raval on the Rhone would be my suggestion. Families, the Christmas market river cruises are a fantastic opportunity for a family to travel together and enjoy the festive atmosphere of those beautiful Christmas markets. And for your clients that like to travel for food, again, the Riverside Raval on the Rhone. The food is exceptional on all of our ships, but of course the destination itself really weighs in for people that love to travel for food. So this just gives you an idea of who you can approach with what itinerary or what river and what ship. if you contact me, I would love to work with you in sending some brochures over to you. Once your clients get those books, they're going to be so impressed. They'll love the touch, the feel of them, and they'll want to to talk to you more about Riverside Luxury Cruises and where they can travel with us. There really is a lot to be to be excited about with Riverside Luxury Cruises. Again, if this is the first time that you're hearing about us, I hope I've piqued your interest, even just a little bit, and that this will lead you to connect with me after this webinar and to learn more about the opportunities available, and for us to be able to collaborate. For those of you that are already familiar with the brand and who have already started to promote and to sell us, I hope that that this webinar has served as a refresher or a reminder about some of the unique features with Riverside Luxury Cruises, and that now you can start to, well, you can continue to promote and sell our cruises to your luxury clients. We don't have an email newsletter distribution system set up yet. However, I would recommend that you join my Facebook group, which you can scan the QR code on the screen, and that will take you right there. And that way you can stay up to date on everything that's going on with us. There's a lot of your peers that are traveling with us and posting their experiences and photos. So it's a great way to see, and to read their comments about us. But with that, I'd like to thank you all for tuning in today, wherever it is that you're tuning in from. Thank you for your interest and support of Riverside Luxury Cruises. And I look forward to continuing to work with you, or to work with you in the future. And with that, I'd like to bring back our host as well, and see if there are any questions that that we can answer.
Yes, thank you so much, Peter. That was an amazing presentation with so much great information. The videos and the visuals just look gorgeous. We had so many of our attendees here today just commenting with things like, wow, beautiful, amazing, this looks awesome. So thank you again for sharing all of that. We definitely have questions, lots and lots of questions coming in. Some of them I think have been answered as you were going through your presentation, but we'll try to get through as many as possible. This first one here comes from Robin, and she's asking, are there any new destinations coming to the cruise line? And then she's asking specifically if Portugal might be one.
Not yet. Yeah, not yet. I mean, for us right now, all of the rivers are new. The Danube was last year was new to us. The Rhone as well. This year, the Rhine. So for the next couple of years, we are focused on those three major cruising rivers, with the Main in central Germany and the Moselle in between as well. So perhaps in the future, but it's still very early on to look at expanding to new destinations.
Okay, great. Thank you for that answer. Okay, this next one comes in from Edward, and he is asking, in light of increasing environmental concerns, what sustainable practices has Riverside Luxury Cruises implemented to minimize its ecological footprint?
That's a great
that's
question.
a big one.
That's a big,
Yes,
that's a
yes.
big question. I mean, and in all honesty, I'd have to probably to get back to Edward and to all of the to the attendees online as well, with with a more informed answer about the ships, and and how they were built with with sustainability. So unfortunately, I can't answer the question online, but I'd love to follow up with Edward and share the my response with the rest of the attendees as well.
Okay, thank you very much. So Edward, you can be sure to follow up if you're looking for information there. This next question comes from Nicole, and you've talked about this a lot during your presentation, but I was thinking we could make it a little personal in the question and get some of the things that you like the most, Peter. So Nicole's asking, can you describe some of the exclusive experiences or amenities that guests can enjoy during their voyage with Riverside Luxury Cruises? I know a lot of your presentation covered this, but I was thinking maybe there were some personal things that you like, things that you really love or that you wanted to point out or highlight as well.
And there's so many things.
Yeah.
The starting off with, with a king size bed. I love a king size bed. You don't normally get one when you're on a river ship. So that's definitely a huge bonus. The personal butler service, I mean, that's incredible. High touch, personal service there. I love the pop-up bar on the Vista deck. The food is exceptional. The open dining, the flexibility of being able to go to the restaurant and to order and know that just as you would go to a restaurant on land, that food is going to be prepared on demand for you. I love that. The excursions are all unique. I highlighted some of the different ones that we have. But those signature events, the experience of being in the Schönbrunn Palace for a private concert. This is a palace where Mozart performed in front of Queen Maria Theresa when he was 8 years old, and now
Wow.
we get to go to the Schönbrunn Palace, and although it's not the Mozart, performing in front of us, it is an exceptional experience with very talented professional musicians just for our group. I love the kayaking excursions, all the biking, the hiking. There are so many of those different active excursions that are very different, than the normal, the typical ones. So all of that, I would say, would be my personal favorites. The
Thank
vintage room,
you.
the vintage room experience. I
Wow.
mean, oh my goodness, that seven course Michelin level. It is, I can confidently say that it's a Michelin level, experience with just the most exceptional fine wines. I mean, it is very, very special.
Amazing. All of that sounds absolutely fabulous. When can I go? Okay. This next question I have comes from Eric, and he's asking about safety aboard the cruise ship. So, how does Riverside Luxury Cruises ensure the safety and well-being of passengers during their voyages?
Yeah, well, we have our staff that obviously monitor everyone that's going in and out, and we have our key cards now that that you need to have in order to be able to access the ship. So there won't be anyone coming on board without the right access cards.
Excellent. Thank you for answering that. Eric was also asking about promotions, but I feel that you covered that really well during the presentation. So we'll move on to the next question from Florence. And she's asking, is there a price discount for our customers that stay more than a week?
Yes, so if it's 7 nights and longer, our prices will have a 10% discount in them.
Okay, excellent. Thank you for answering that. This next question comes from Elizabeth, and she's asking about the languages that are spoken on board. So, particularly, does the crew speak English or any other languages?
It is primarily English speaking on board.
Okay, great.
We do sell cruises to the European market, but one of the things that we ask for during the booking process is the language of our guests, so that we can have a butler that speaks the language of that guest, so that we can have the guides, the excursions catered to that guest and their preferred language. One of the things that I want consultants to think of us as is, first, we are a luxury hotel, and then we are a river cruise. And a luxury hotel can really customize and personalize that experience for its guests. And we don't have things like announcements on the ship in different languages and things like that. Everything is very personal through through that butler, through the shore excursions manager or the hotel director.
Okay, thank you for answering that. This next question comes from Edward, and he's asking, are there any notable partnerships or collaborations that Riverside Luxury Cruises is possibly considering or has entered into to enhance its offerings? I know it's
Right
early
now,
days for you
yeah,
guys.
it is
Yeah.
early days. I mean, we're very much in the startup phase of our business. So, down the line, we'll certainly look into those, but I think it's early days for us. Right now, we gotta get the ships full, and then we can start looking at, other things as well.
Okay, thank you for answering that. We have another question here from Elizabeth asking about accessibility. So for example, elevators or ramps, things that to make it to make the ship wheelchair accessible, etc.
Yeah, I mean, as far as the experience on the ship, like obviously the ships have elevators, they're very spacious. The ships have the highest guest to space ratio of any other river ships. So in terms of having wheelchairs, on board, that's not a problem. Where the challenge is with accessibility is docking the docking locations. And if we have the dock next to another ship and that requires guests to have to go up on the vista deck and go over a gangway and then be able to get off the ship, so those are the challenges, and they really apply to the industry, to the river cruise segment as a whole. But as far as on board, we do accept and welcome and can accommodate guests with wheelchairs.
Okay, thank you for answering that. This next question is about children. So what ages are children allowed on the ships?
Question. We have no age restriction on our
Okay.
ships, so we welcome young families traveling with kids, with infants, with toddlers. We've got cribs on board the ship. So yeah, similar to a hotel. Our doors are open to all guests. We don't expect to have a lot of young families traveling with infants and toddlers, but nonetheless, we welcome everyone. We're open to all guests to travel with us, all ages.
Okay, thank you so much. I am just going through these questions, and it looks like a lot of the rest of them have been answered. So I'm going to just pick two more for before we close out today's show. Before we close out the show for today, sorry, reading questions at the same time. Okay, this one here comes from Dean, and he is asking, how does Riverside Luxury Cruises foster a sense of belonging and connection among its passengers? Does it create any experiences for them beyond the voyage itself?
Beyond the void, well, yeah, I mean, I think our connections are very strong because we're so personal. You can only achieve that if you have fewer guests on board the ships. You can only achieve that if you have more staff to look after those guests. We do things on board to engage with our guests. Whether that's having mixology presentations or champagne tastings, or just the staff themselves coming up with fun entertainment, things to do at night with our guests, and having that direct connection, getting involved directly with them, and part of their journey, not just to look after them, but to add that memorable experience with the guest.
Okay, yes, that's great. Thank you for that answer. And then lastly, we had lots of agents on here asking about travel agent rates. I know that you already were talking a little bit about, commissions during the presentation, but in terms of travel agent rates, and then also if there's any plans for travel agent fam at any time, and if so, what would our attendees need to do in order to become eligible for something like that?
Yeah, so no FAMs planned for this year, but I will be starting to plan some for 2025. That
Great.
said, we have our travel advisor rates, which I think I was going to mention, but then I think I didn't actually have a slide on it. So that's a good question then, because the travel advisor rates are $230 per person per night. And ours are on a nightly basis because we have those shorter cruises, those 3, 4, 5 night cruises. So for a standard 7 night river cruise, the travel advisor rate is $1,610. And that includes gratuities, port charges, transfers. That includes all the meals, all the beverages, as well as all of the excursions. It's the all-inclusive
Excellent.
package. And
Wow.
that is, I will say, that's an introductory travel advisor rates. And I would really encourage, the consultants to come and experience us while we still have these available. It's going to make all the difference. And yeah, and to apply for those, just email me. My email address is on the screen still, so email me and I can help you with that.
Excellent. Thank you so much for answering that. That sounds fabulous for our travel agent attendees. Thank you again. And thank you so much for being here today, Peter, and for presenting what's been going on and what's new, and how to help our attendees sell Riverside Luxury Cruises. The information I'm sure has been very valuable for them. We've learned a lot. I would like to also just point out that to all the travel agents who are here on the webinar at this time, congratulations. You are now all eligible to be entered in the draw to win one of 10 $50 Amazon gift cards. Again, please stay tuned for the follow-up email to today's webinar. We will announce the prize winners there. And we can also include any follow-up information that Peter would like to include in that email as well, any links to brochures or website or the travel agent portal in that webinar as well. I know we've been getting this question. You'll also have a link to the recording of today's webinar, so you can watch it again, as some of you have been asking. You can also share that with any of your travel advisor friends. It will the link will be in the email, and it will also be posted on Travelweek's YouTube channel, as all our webinars are. So stay tuned for that. And thank you very much to all our Travelweek community who is here joining us today. And again, thank you to Peter and Riverside Luxury Cruises for being here. Peter, do you have anything else you'd like to add before we close out today's show?
No, just again, just as you've already thanked everyone, I want to just echo that. We're starting out. This is very early days for us, but the incredible interest and engagement and support it's been fantastic. So I just want to thank everyone for embracing us, for supporting us, and for their general interest in us as well. So thank you, everyone.
Excellent. Thank you. Well, definitely lots of interest here, Peter. Lots of agents in this chat just saying thank you so much for this presentation. It was wonderful. Thank you. We loved all the information, and amazing job. So thanks again, Peter, Riverside Luxury Cruises, and everybody who joined us today. Have a great rest of day, and until next time. Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you. Bye.